Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Stuti Goel and in today's video, we are gonna build a basic to-do list app that will store all your tasks. You can even edit them, delete them, and can store all your tasks that you need to complete. So without wasting further time, let's get started. And for this, we are going to use basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let me quickly run through my HTML code, starting with adding HTML tag, head tag, and then meta elements. Then I have linked my CSS file here. Then comes to the main task. I have used a form tag so that I can take the input and then input type equal to submit. Basically, I have made this so this is for whenever you enter some task and if you want to get it submitted and get that added to the list, the group of tasks. So for that I have used form tag and the input tag for submitting it. Then the second part is see two contents are possible. One can be the read only, that means which cannot be edited once you have written it. The others are you can edit them and delete them as well. So, for just a simple example, I have shown one text that is my shiny task as a read-only statement. So, this will be visible all the time by default. You cannot change this. You cannot edit it basically. And then I have created two buttons, edit and delete. And moreover, working on its functioning, that time when we writing the JavaScript code, JavaScript will be responsible for making it function. Right now here I'm just making the skeleton of my task page. Then I have just linked my JS file here. Then without wasting time, let's move to our CSS file and see what I have done here. In CSS file, firstly I have just given the root colors, whatever colors I'm gonna use later. I've just mentioned them over here so that I without instead of writing this hash code, I can directly write this name. Again, if I want gray, then I can directly write gray. And then throughout on the whole web page, box sizing is going to be the border box. And the font that I'm gonna use here is from sans serif family. Okay. Then moving on to the body part, the very first thing which I did here is applying a background. And over here I'm applying a GIF background. Yes, this is possible. You can definitely go to jiffy.com and there you can find free of cost many GIS and you can just copy the link directly and they work well. And then to make that background set as a whole cover and in the center without the repetitions, I have used further statements like background repeat, background size, background position, and flex. Next, moving on to the header part, I have just specified the dimensions. This header part basically contains that to-do list I have written at the top, basically to-do task. So for that, I'm just giving padding and the width margin kind of things. This is basic, and that is gonna be pink in color as I have specified it here. Then coming to this input button of mine. So I don't want any specifications for that, so I've just kept it simple. So all the outline border, I haven't used any of them. Then next when I move to the input button, basically this is the space where you'll be typing your task name. And then we go to the next part, this C, hash new task input placeholder. See, this is the, okay, let me show you here. I'm talking about this part. The placeholder I have used here is what do you have planned. This I have written in HTML itself. And to keep this background of this particular container gray, I'm writing this particular code in CSS. Alright? And then, as I was showing you, my heading. This is my H1 tag, which is pink in color. See, I just wrote it right. This one, this header tag. I have defined my that particular heading as pink. Then input button is done. Yeah, here you can see here background color I set it as darker. But when you type over here, if you try to type anything, it's in the light shade. This is what I have mentioned here. This color. And I have given border radius to be one margin towards the right side so that it doesn't stick to the left side. Then moving on to my submit button, I just wanted it to be a combination of some contrast colors. For that, I have used this function, WebKit background clip. You need not add any additional libraries. You can directly use this and see. Let me tell you what will be the output for this WebKit background clip text, and I have used three gradients over here, pink and purple. So towards the right side, basically it says that on the left hand side it would be the text would be pink in the color, and as you move on to the right side it turns to purple. Let me show you this. I have applied this gradients over here on add task. Don't you think this is an interesting fact about CSS? You can do many more things as well. Then moving on to the other things, see, when you just go to the submit button, when you are hovering over it, it will show you some opacity. And when you are active on it, it will show you a different opacity. However, I haven't mentioned specifically any color changes when you are hovering over it or when the link is already visited. Then coming to the main part, this will be applied overall throughout the web page. These dimensions are gonna be followed. Then coming to the task list, now these all settings are for example, if I'm adding some tasks, all the tasks gets added here towards the right side. And now I'll be working on this task, like how they should be appearing to us and everything. And let's see this. See, so it will be light and shade as shown here. So whatever you type here, it is visible here as hello in the dark shade. And then all these functions, basically all these functions define about this, like making this container as white. Then it will contain two buttons, edit and delete. See, I was talking about one read-only task, and this is what I was talking about, the my shiny task. See, if you want to try deleting it, it won't delete. And if you want to edit it, it's not possible because I have specified the attribute as read only. So you cannot change this. However, all the other tasks that you'll be adding, you can edit them as well as delete them. We'll be looking about it further. And these are all the basically adding opacity. And yeah, at last for this edit button also I have added this gradient kind of thing, that is pink on left and purple on right. As you can see here, on the left side it's pink, and when you start moving towards the right it turns purple. And that's it about it. And the delete button, when you try clicking over the delete button, it when you hover over on it and it will show you red color. This is all about the CSS file. uh, okay, I'll just give you a quick run through. And yeah, that's all about my CSS file. Then coming to JS file. See, whatever we have done till now is HTML was used to make the basic skeleton of the page. And to add the styling to that particular content, we have used CSS. And now coming to the JavaScript, we are using it so that all the functions are working. Buttons and hovering, these all can be done using HTML and CSS. But the internal work, if you want to submit something or anything, that those all functioning are done by JavaScript. So the most important part is JavaScript. You make mistakes here, your to-do list won't work properly. So to begin, for the very beginning, I would be loading the task. So for loading that particular task, I'll use add event listener button. Then the three inputs over here are form, input, and list. List is basically all the set of tasks, whatever you are adding it, you can see it towards the right side, right? These are list, and this is my input button. I'll be working on this completely here, and then for submit button, to make that submit button working, again I have added it to the event listener. Now, task. Here I am assigning the input value. Whatever the text you add to this particular box is assigned to the variable task. Now, in case if you haven't given any task and you try to submit it, it will be showing you this alert. Please fill out the task. Let me show you. See, it gives you the alert that you need to fill out the task. Then, moving on further. If you have given a proper input value, then let's see what all other steps will be followed to append it to the main list now. Now, once you have added the task, this will be appended to that list over there. So for that, we have used class list dot add function, and then basically all the other elements which you'll be adding over here are gonna be the child. If you say this is the parent, this is the child, and then if you keep on adding, this is the second child, and it goes on. So basically it should append after one another. To maintain that it should be appending in the order, for that we are writing this JavaScript code over here. All these actions, see, all these actions will be added in a list one by one, appending one by one. Then, then we have worked upon edit and delete button, because I need that edit and delete button should be working. So for that we have used JavaScript over here, and for that again dot class list dot add edit, so that this function becomes editable. And then once you click on edit, you can change your text, whatever you have written, and then click on save. So it will overwrite the content and update you with the new content. And in the similar manner, here for using the delete button, to access the delete button, I have used class list dot add, and then this delete button would be working, and they should be appended accordingly. See, if you have edited some task, that will be appended at that particular child level. And if you have deleted some task, then all the other tasks will move one step upward. Then for the same, I have written, you have an option of read only task as well. See, I'll just show you. The very first task of mine is read only task. So if you try to edit it, see, it is not working. If you want to delete it, it's not possible. So over here, for this itself, I have given here a loop, so that if you click on read only task, edit and delete button won't work. These are possible only if you are trying to edit something that you have written. See, now if I have clicked on edit here, I can edit it, and after editing I should click on save. So it has saved the new value now. This is how it goes on. Now, and for deleting, I have used remove child. For example, if I want to delete this, I can definitely do that. See, it's deleted. Then if I want to add other things, so I can keep on adding. Eh, This add task is working and I have also made, if you click on enter, it automatically gets submitted as it is the input type tag which I have used from HTML. Then uh, there is no restriction. You can add as many tasks as possible, and then I have used the scroll bar as well. Scroll bar will be working here. You can edit any of them, can delete any of them, and that's all about my small to-do task list. That's it. Again, let me show you. This is all about it. Let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts. Thank you.